Welcome back to another episode of this Brawn GP My Team Career Mode. We're here for the race weekend at Albert Park. We've decided to take control of Victor Martins for this race week for the Australian Grand Prix. First up, we got free practice to see how the car feels. Let's get right into the action for it.
The long wait is over. This is it, a brand new season. And before the show gets well and truly underway, we've got the all-important matter of a free practice session. It's great to be back.
Hey mate, this is Mark. This is going to be a good year. We're going to have a great time together, and obviously the team are brand new, so I've set everything up from scratch. Let's make the big boss happy and show that we're not just here on the grid to make up the numbers, alright?
There we go. We're coming out onto the track now. Get our first feel of this 2025 Brawn GP car. Initial thought on the turning into it actually feels quite alright, and now just making our way on the up through turns 1 and 2, building up for our first hot lap of the season in the practice session in this car. So we have our first lap in this car. We're going to make our way down the main straight towards turn number 1. But there's a track accumulation practice program where we've got to make it through all of the gates throughout the lap and activate the DRS at the correct moments in time. I'm going to let you just watch this lap, and you can hear the engine, hear the background music as it all plays out, and just see how if you can get a look for yourself how the car feels throughout the lap. So the track accumulation practice session was all complete. We'll make our way around the final corner for a qualification simulation to see where our car could potentially be lining up for Sunday's race here at Albert Park Down Under in Melbourne. Making our way down towards turn number 1, later braking, then the racing line suggests throw the car into the turn number 1, then flat out on the exit through turn number 2. And then power your way down towards turn number 3. Ideally want to get the braking right. And the lap around Albert Park, whenever you do get it right, it does just always feel like a really, really nice lap. And it's just, when you do hook it up right, I know I've already stated it, but when you get it right, it feels like you've hit a perfect lap at Albert Park. And if you do get it right, you do normally get a really high position no matter what car you're in. Making our way around the final corner, which on the qualifying laps is quite easily flat out in race trim. It's a lot different. Making our way, we see that delta 1.1, 1.2 seconds up on the time we needed to get, and we are predicted P9 on the grid.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
First qualifying lap was in the 2025 Brawn GP car with Victor Martins. I'm going to let you just watch this whole lap, as me personally, I prefer just watching the laps instead of hearing someone talk over them. Here we go with our final run in qualifying into turn one. We need this lap. You can see on the left-hand side and the top right, you can just see our position P17. We're not going to be making it into Q2 at this rate if we do not improve at all throughout the course of this lap time. We need, I think, at least 0.3 of a second to be able to make it through into the next part of qualifying. We're going to be flinging this car through all of the corners in a hope that we can make it through into the next part of qualifying, make flat out now towards the faster parts of the circuit, hoping to improve that delta even more, where we definitely know there's time within the lap. It's just, can we exert the time from the lap, which we did in the early stages of Q1, entering the final sector now, hoping that we can hopefully improve our position, hopefully get within the, or ideally within the top 16 to be able to progress into the next part of qualifying. Up and around the final corner, up and over the line we go now. Can we progress into Q2? Yes, we can. So towards the end of the lap on our first used tyre run, just having to set a banker on the book, get a lap time on the board for a banker, which we can definitely improve on, which we do, and it will be just slowing us around in the lower parts of the timing page, but with our final run to come, surely we can improve it. Making our way towards the line, and we are second up on the Delta. Unfortunately, it is not a Q3 appearance on.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula One 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda, and Hamilton, Russell, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, and Jack Doohan, Gasly, Stroll, Ollie Behrman, and Martins, Hulkenberg, Albon, Esteban Ocon, and Liam Lawson, Bortoletto, Antonelli, Hadjar, and Jenson Button rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And with me for this commentary this afternoon, former racing driver Naomi Schiff. New season, new dawn, and now 22 cars and 11 teams on the grid.
First of all, this is such an exciting time. I mean, to have an 11th team on the grid is exciting news for the sport. But for them today, I guess you would be really nervous. It's the first time you're going to be doing this. There is so much to learn. But at the end of the day, they've got to remember that expectations aren't that high. They've all been there before. They've all had their first race, and no one is expecting them to land on the top of the podium. So just learn to walk before you can run.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway and the track temperature looks warm. That may or may not play into some of the team's hands in today's race. So as all the cars reform the grids, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
The final cars are approaching the back of the grid now as we await the 5 red lights in Australia down under the season opener. The 5 lights will tick on one by one. It's all eyes to the 5 red lights, and we're underway for the Australian Grand Prix. Good start from Max Verstappen keeping the lead. Victor Barnes going well to maybe challenge Oliver Behrman down towards turn number 1, making our way in towards the first braking zone. Turn number 1, Max Verstappen leads from the 2 McLarens and the 2 Ferraris, as well as Yuki Tsunoda in there as well.
excitement of Formula One.
I did just want to address the issue which I've been having with editing this video. The voiceover section that was always playing up. So like I'd always have to like redo voiceovers like 10 times. So for this episode I've decided to just leave the background music so you can just watch it without any commentary. I'm going to try and get it sorted for the second episode, so apologies for the lack of commentary, but I hope you still enjoy it. Thank you all for tuning in for episode 1 of the Brawn GP career mode, and I'll hopefully get the second episode edited tomorrow. Thank you and good night.